In the last film we looked at some of the landmark trust properties you can rent on Lundy Island. In this one we'll look at the rest.
This gateway marks the driveway to one of the grandest properties here on Lundy Island, a property that sleeps 12 people and is also steeped in history. Up there is Milcombe House. This was built in 1835 by the family who owned the island then, the Heaven family, and it was a family home. It was called something else then, the Villa, but it was rebranded as Milcombe House by John Harmon in the 1920s, based on a watermill, that was nearby. Later in the 20th century, this building became the hotel for the island. But one of the unique things about this property on the island, it's one of the few that actually has bathtubs, whereas the rest of us have to make do with showers. There is one other unique feature about Milcombe House, which we need to gain a little bit of height to see. One unique architectural feature about Milcombe House is the roof, as you can see, slopes inwards. This was so it could collect rainwater. However, even though the roof's been redone by Landmark Trust, this feature is no longer used. Now, one of the other interesting side points about this house was that one of John Harmon's favourite pastimes was shooting at rabbits from his bedroom window. This is Government House. It's another one of the few properties that have a bath per se. It sleeps 5 people. It was originally put up here in the valley, Milcombe Valley, for the people who run and administer the island. Now that they are quartered elsewhere, it was put up to be another Landmark Trust property, and it's an ideal for a family to come since it sleeps 5 people. Overlooking a field of sheep. This is the first of the properties near the old light. This is Stonycroft, built approximately the same time as the old light, which was about 1820. It was most likely the residence for the lighthouse inspectors when they came to inspect the lighthouse. In fact, it actually shows up in a drawing by Mary Ann Heaven in 1838. And today it sleeps 4 people on Lundy Island. In the old light compound proper, we have 3 properties: Old Light Upper and Old Light Lower. These were the cottages for the lighthouse keepers. In previous times, on as Landmark Trust properties, they actually had other names. The top one was Old Light Ventura, and the bottom one was Old Light Trinity. However, people found it easier to refer to them as Old Light Upper and Lower, and so those names were kind of lost, which I think is a shame because they sounded very nice. And the other property that we have exclusive permission from the person staying there to film inside is Old Light Cottage. This was the farmhouse and pigsty and store for the lighthouse keepers. It also served for many years as a base of operations for the Lundy Field Society. This is the front door of Old Light Lower, and I don't know if anyone's in there. because the key's on the outside, but there's some Wellington boots outside, so they could be, who could be in. And up these steps, it's to Old Light Upper. Now, all these properties are, as far as I'm aware, all occupied, so we won't be able to have any tours inside this time. And got a nice little column to go up the Old Light, should you so desire. Have a quick diversion up the light, so we can have a look at the Old Light properties and some of the island from a unique vantage point. Right now at the top of the Old Light, feeling very uncomfortable about this. Down there is the Old Light cottages of Old Light Upper and Lower, and Old Light Cottage itself. There is, you can see through this window, which is very misty, is Stonycroft, and you can see down the island. And I don't know how far you can see through this. There's Tibbets and the north part of the island. Now, just looking briefly digress for the Old Light. Some people get onto that central thing and sit in the deck chair and look out to sea. I ain't doing that. This is the highest I've ever been, just for you YouTubers out there. So I'm going to go down and we're going to have exclusive look at Old Light Cottage. Light Cottage is where I chose to stay to Lundy Island. Here's the tour. As we're coming through the front, we have the bathroom, and this is the shower. The shower cubicle doors are on a corner to maximise space. It's where you hang your coats up. And this is the main area. Cooking, living, sleeping are all in the same place. That's the water boiler. It's all my worldly goods. And the bed. Wellington's picture. Some people find it creepy. It's just a picture. And we have a library there. And everyone who comes to a property, every property has a logbook in which we put in details. And just by chance, this is my entry for when I started coming back here in 2007. I arrived on a Saturday and that year, and I stayed for 2 whole weeks. And this is Old Light Cottage and the end of our tour of the wonderful properties you can rent on Lundy Island.
When we walked in fields of gold,